Hey guys, it's Jaden and welcome back. Today we're talking about, finally, Star Trek Discovery. I just have to say before I get started, I know I never finished Picard. If you look back at my channel, I never finished Picard, but we're here for Discovery. Discovery was like my first true Star Trek series that I actually watched, and it got me into everything else. And after that, and the movies, I started watching like pretty much everything. I've watched like 90% of DS9, all of Enterprise at this point, which I Enterprise, great stuff, just great stuff. Seen some TNG because that's just long. So a little bit of Voyager because I don't really like Voyager that much, but I stand by what I'm saying. And being I'm just so excited for Discovery. I know that a lot of people like to kind of shit on Discovery season one because and I'll admit now, it was really off-putting. It was really weird because we're having these conversations about the Terrans. We're having these conversations about essentially sequel, prequel, prequel, sequel situation. So you really weren't able to really tell your own story within the bounds of it. I mean, the thing that made Enterprise great is the fact that because it was one of the first ships, there was nothing that could really compare to it. We all knew what it was going towards, and really that fight, and sadly we never got that next season, which would have been great, about Romulans and the Romulan War. Oh, what a great time. But I mean, regardless of all of that, I think that overall this season premiere for The Hope Is You for season 3 of Discovery is amazing. Basically, let's catch it up before I really get into it. Essentially, Burnham and the crew essentially go through the wormhole to really save the universe, save it from this weird AI, which don't get me started on that. I can get onto that later. But save it from the AI. We love to see it. Truly, honestly, great stuff. And then essentially the team basically it's split up because Burnham comes out the wormhole first, so we don't know when or where Discovery is. And I had caught on to that first thing when Burnham came out first. She ends up hitting the ship for this guy named Book, who's a space pirate who was stealing something. We didn't know what he was stealing. They have a rocky little start. They go to find out that Federation is gone. Oh my gosh. It was something that happened with the burn, which is basically when all the dilithium in the universe basically exploded. And if you know what dilithium is, you're like, oh no, that means literally the Federation would basically collapse on itself, because if you don't have a warp engine, then you can't be the explorers or the peacekeepers that you are. So basically, I'm imagining that everything just kind of collapsed on itself, especially if dilithium is now scarce in the universe. Essentially, you have couriers who work with Orions and Endorians who give rocks or give the lithium to the couriers for doing jobs and stuff like that. Quick gist of the story: Burnham and Book end up fighting themselves out of the situation, and they ended up getting to this station, which is the Federation. It turns out it's still alive. It's just very small at this point. It's no longer the wide-reaching capacities of all the quadrants that it was before, but now it's just so small. And that's pretty much honestly the first episode. And if I have to say, out of all of the seasons of Discovery with first episodes, this is easily the best one. And I say that mainly because it just, I don't know, maybe it was a hype that the fact that they're going to the future, they're going further than what we've been before. We're able to really have those conversations on what can they really bring new to the series as a whole. Not I'm not going to enjoy Captain Pike and crew with Strange New Worlds. Love to see it. Cannot wait, honestly. So excited. But I really want Discovery to be, it has to stand for something. Each of the series has kind of had their pivotal thing that they've kind of stood for. Picard and the Borgs. What's it called? Voyager and Janeway, and honestly, I'm still confused on what she stood for. Like I said, I didn't finish that series, but all I know is something with 7 and 9, so maybe Borg, kind of not. That was kind of all the 90s, except DS9. DS9 was really more of the Dominion War, while Enterprise was more about the Temporal War, and then them establishing the Federation as a whole. Have I watched TOS? No. Do I care? I'm gonna be honest, I don't. So my point of saying is like, I just think Discovery is going to really bring a lot this season to really expanding the mythos that is basically the Star Trek world. And I did note some things. I was going. So about basically, we're in the year 3188. We're about 200 years from when Captain Archer basically kind of went to the future with Davis or whatever his name was. That dude just kept pulling him out of the war, which we never even got really into the Temporal War, but that's a whole thing in itself. So I'm really excited about this because it means like we know like basically at like 3000-ish, like they were at a whole nother level when it comes to like the Federation. They had new technology, they had like statues and everything like that. There was whatever. So like the fact that this season is essentially going to be about what caused the burn, what caused the Federation to fall, I'm extremely excited to see this. I think that Book as a character is a really interesting character. Turns out he's just a huge animal rights activist who's not afraid of violence. We truly love to see it. Like, I mean, we don't like poachers, honestly. Like, who likes a poacher? Who's like, oh yeah, let me go kill an elephant? No. So we love someone who's like really going to really give us some animal rights, and he has some weird, empathetic situation going on with like plant life and animals, and don't know what that is. Maybe he's still human. Really don't know at all, but it is what it is. I guess it is what it is. What else did we take out of this? We did have a brief mention of the temporal wars because like time traveling being banned. Okay, like we know, cool. I think that as a whole, like it's just so interesting to see the world that we're in because it's not like the world that we are used to when it comes to Star Trek of like basically like everyone's kind of together. But I think this creates a lot of interesting dynamics for all of Discovery, everyone, even the crew whenever they get to the time period. I think this creates a great thing. I was really confused because first of all, I thought Section 31, they didn't want to move forward with that series, but it turns out I guess there still are. We're in the thing we are, so I don't think they're filming that anytime soon, but like, and I don't think they're filming like Stranger Than Worlds until like after Discovery's done, so like, there's that, because they, someone said like they hold a lot of same set pieces, so I'm a little confused how Michelle Yeoh is like in the future. Like how's she gonna get back to the past? Is she gonna be in the past? Like, is that a question? I don't know. I'm not gonna worry about that. That is a question for another day. But Burnham as a whole, like I think this is the most fun we've gotten from her character. We've gotten that strong Vulcan sense, but like at the same time still that human commander who still believes and truly believes in Starfleet and what it stands for in the world, well, universe. And I just am enjoying this. It was a good episode. It was solid. Like I wasn't bored. I wasn't like trying to like creak out or anything like that or skip anything. Like it was genuinely just like a solid episode, a great introduction. And I think it does a lot, especially for Burnham's character, because a lot of people have issue with Burnham's character for some reason. I still am on this whole thing of like, did she really mutiny? Because it, you know what? See, we're not doing that. We're not debating that. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know really what to expect from this series. All I know is that we're getting future tech, probably some new, exciting new worlds, some new exciting new species, really putting the Starfleet people into like situations that are really uncomfortable. And I think that is what is great, because we're not going to strain by this whole idea of like, oh, well, Starfleet's supposed to, be here, or we have to get to this timeline. Oh, and like we'll probably have mentions of like the past, but we're not gonna have like stupid mentions of like, oh my gosh, Captain Kirk, or I have a young new officer, his name's Kirk. Like, get out of here with that. Maybe some people like that. I personally, when it comes to Star Trek, I kind of don't. Like, I just, especially in this series, because like it's a prequel sequel, whatever. So yeah, so this season's just gonna be, I think it's gonna be really good. I think really challenging them to really talk about like what happened between that 20 years. And if anyone can figure out the mystery, it's going to be Burnham. I do think it's also going to be interesting to see like how they actually do complete a lot of these things, because they really can't do warp travel. Or maybe when Discovery gets there, they can, but like I doubt they really can, because their dilithium is going to run out too. So it's just, I like the idea of the story being contained in a particular area, but not like contained by a particular time, basically. Like, I just, we're past the Pico sequel. We're about like making new stories for ourselves. Cannot wait to see what Saru and Tilly and all of the rambunctious bunch of the Discovery are gonna bring. I think that we're done with the Mycelial network though. Like I don't know. That's an interesting thing because now that I think about it, that's probably the only way that they could really like travel extremely fast because the ship doesn't work on like I don't think standard like Starfleet ships. So that's gonna be interesting to see. And just the integration of like, what is it, 32nd, 33rd, 33rd, 32nd century tech, like that would be, something new in itself. I'm just really excited for this series, like truly. Like, yeah, anyway. Let me know, what do you think, what did you think about this first episode if you saw it? What do you really expect from the series? I do encourage people, if you haven't if you kind of dropped off on Discovery, like this is probably a good time to start it because it's pretty much a brand new show. And yeah, that's my spiel for the week. Anyway, I'm gonna go. Thank y'all so much for watching. Appreciate it. Talk to y'all later. Bye.